Hi, I'm Chris Sears, and welcome to Making Music. I'm here with Andy Weiss, and he's played Sabian cymbals for over 2 decades. Andy, could you tell us a little about what Sabian has meant to you as far as a drummer?
Well, sure. Hi, Chris. Sabian is an incredible company. What they do is they listen to drummers. Their bottom line is not necessarily making the profit, even though it probably is, but I can't see it. I see that their bottom line is making sure that everyone's taken care of, that they listen to all drummers, and they make the products in accordance with what the drummer wants. And so the drummers can make their own personalized sound out of the product that they have, kind of like their product line is like the colors of an artist's palette. They have just so many choices, and if the choice isn't there, Sabian makes sure that they have that choice for the drummer.
That's great. Now, recently you played in the Monterey Jazz Festival. Now, can you tell us about that experience and the fact that it was 50 years? That had to be just, overwhelming to be able to be there and participate in that event.
That was incredible. I thought what would be more appropriate than to have some of the best Monterey musicians being featured at the 50th Monterey Jazz Festival. What I did was select 16 artists, 3 vocalists, 13 artists, and every song was a different mix of musicians featuring all of the different artists, and every song was a different configuration of musicians. It was just a wonderful experience. We did an extended 90-minute set on the finale of the garden stage at the festival.
Wow.
Standing ovation, the whole works. It was great.
That's incredible. How was it working with so many musicians in a short period of time?
It was incredible because the logistics of getting rehearsals together, I mean, there were 15 band leaders out of the 17, so they all had their schedules, but everyone was very cooperative and said, anything you want to do is just fine with us. We're just honored to be doing this. And so it was easy to work with her. Besides, they were all my friends, too, because I've worked with them all in the past.
That's nice. Well, thanks for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to cut to a quick clip of Andy playing. If you want to check him out, make sure to go to google.com and just type in Andy Weiss. You'll be able to find tons of links and see him play. You could also check out www.guitarshowcase.com. If you want some more info on Andy, we're going to have links up the next couple weeks, so make sure to stop by. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Sears, and welcome back to Making Music. I'm here today with Chris Stanke. He's the Artist Relations Manager for Sabian Cymbals. Now, Chris, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Can you take the time to tell us a little about how Sabian cymbals are made?
Sure. Okay, cymbals are made starting with copper and tin to make bell bronze castings. It starts with 80% copper and 20% tin. And then we do the old family secret of combining these two metals to make B20 bell bronze. And I could show you here when I hit these two base metals. Doesn't sound like anything, right? But using that secret of combining these two metals, you
Wow.
get a B20 bell bronze casting that already has a musical pitch, just in the very infant stages of what will become a cymbal. So what we'll do then is we'll take this casting, we'll heat it back up, we'll take it and put it through rollers and turn it each time, so you get what's a waffle grain that forms at the molecular level of the cymbals, and that strengthens it and makes it pliable. And terms they like to use malleable and ductile and metal, and that just means it's really flexible and you can bend it and beat it up with a stick, and it doesn't break, you know. So that's where that starts. So after they roll it out, they check it with a micrometer to make sure it's the right thickness for whatever cymbals they're making, and you end up with a big flat piece of metal like this.
Wow.
Now this was totally flat, and then they put it in this drop hammer and smash it down, and it forms the bell of the cymbal in this flat piece of metal. And then before they do this, though, one of the most important steps happens. They heat it back up to a very specific temperature in an oven when it's just a completely flat piece of metal, and they'll drop it into a vat of water at a very specific temperature, and what that does is temper it, and that freezes the molecules at that precise point that they have to be in order to be able to work the metal, and in order for it to accept a profile and all the hammer marks that you put on it and whatnot. So tempering is one of the most important parts of what we do, and I don't believe this is tempered, and I can just tear pieces of metal right out of the side of this thing when it's untempered. That's how fragile it is. So once it's tempered, you will never be able to do that. You know,
and that's why you
it's just like glass. I mean, you can pick chunks out of this all day long because it's not been tempered yet. So that's how fragile it is in the early stages.
So after that process is done, that's one of the parts that makes it so the cymbals will take such a beating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. That's incredible.
Obviously, you know, it's very, very fragile in the first part of the stages, but once you temper it, you know, just like they used to do with swords in the Bronze Age, you know, and over and over and over, they freeze those molecules, and immediately